It's almost like you're just plugging into something else, and the compositions and the color flow all just happens very spontaneously and intuitively. And that's a pretty magical experience to be a part of. Most of the glass that I use for the kiln-formed glass is all American made from Portland, Oregon. And then a lot of my stained glass, I just use all kinds of glass that I've squirreled away over the years. So a lot of it's antique, German or French blown glass that I'm using. And this one is a piece that I've got it all cut out and arranged. And now I'll take it back to the kiln and melt all the glass in place. So from this stage, I'll then apply more color, crushed up bits of glass and slivers of glass that I can kind of paint with to give it movement and motion. And once I throw it in a kiln and melt it, and it comes out, you know, smooth like this. Ever since I can remember, my earliest memories are of drawing and painting. I grew up always taking a sketchbook everywhere I went so that I could just, you know, sit down and disappear for a while. As far as glass specifically, I was traveling around Europe, and the first time I saw a monumental abstract stained glass, something about it just lit me on fire, and came back to the States and started pursuing it. But I've been fortunate that a lot of my work has been commissioned. And it's a huge honor to have somebody say to you, wow, we really love what you're doing and the aesthetics that you're bringing forward. Just do your thing in this opening or in this size or in this scale. And then in stained glass, a lot of the work has been ecclesiastic or for sacred spaces, or even some memorial windows. And again, I mean, that's such a huge honor to have somebody, you know, commission you to create, you know, a lasting memorial for a loved one. At this point, I've spent enough time, so many years, becoming so intimately familiar with the material of glass and how it behaves and how to manipulate it, that when I can get into the studio and get my head in the right space and get the ego out of the way, then it's almost like you're just plugging into something else, and the compositions and the color flow all just happens very spontaneously and intuitively. And that's a pretty magical experience to be a part of. I feel very fortunate that I've been able to commit enough of my life to get to the point where I can have that experience. If it's a non-commissioned piece, a lot of times it'll start with, you know, one little interesting piece of glass that I'll start arranging the composition around. So like on this piece, it's pretty abstract, but in my mind it began as actually a landscape. So these you know, vertical lines would be cactus, and then some sort of a landscape, and the indication of a sky. So yeah, inspiration just comes from all around me, whatever I'm looking at, thinking about. It's a way of life, it's a commitment, it's a passion. For me, it's an authentic reaction to the beauty that I find in the world around me. Again, it's one of those funny things. I mean, if we're being completely honest, it's really a luxury item. It's not an essential, but at the same time, it's painful to imagine a world without art. I think when done well, when a piece resonates with a viewer, it hopefully, you know, elevates their mood, elevates their appreciation for life in general, and for the outcome of years of practice and intention and love that somebody puts into an object.